guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to do the diagonal spike stitch. And for this you can use any size yarn and any size hook. Just make sure you use the right kind of hook for the size yarn you're using. And I can see using this variegated color, it looks like it's a bit difficult to see the spikes. So either use a variegated color that doesn't change colors so much, like this one changes pretty fast. So maybe get one that doesn't change colors so fast, or just use a solid color, and then your spike stitch would come out a lot better. So you grab your hook and your yarn and let's get started. Okay, this stitch works up in multiples of 4. The book says multiples of 4 stitches plus 2, but every time I add the plus 2 I seem to run into trouble. So when I do in multiples of 4, I seem to be okay. So just keep that in mind. If you're having difficulties with just using 4 stitches, then you can try adding the plus 2 at the end. But I'm just going to go with multiples of 4. I have a chain of 20 here. And what you want to do is skip the first 3 chains, and into the 4th stitch do a double crochet. And then double crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. So you have a total of 3 double crochets, and that's how you'll continue on this whole way. You'll have your 3 sets of double crochets, and then you'll start your spike stitch. This chain 3 is the beginning border. You'll always have a chain 3 or a double crochet on each side, the first and the last stitch of the round. You can see here, see, it kind of creates a border along the sides. You'll always have a double crochet or a chain 3 beginning and end stitch. So that's just the beginning stitch. You have your 3 and you're ready to start your spike stitch. And how you do that is you'll be doing a double crochet again. You're only going to be using chains and double crochets. It's just where you put your double crochet that makes the stitch. So you'll yarn over and you'll go into this first stitch that you put your first double crochet in. You're going to go right into that same stitch. So insert your hook in that same stitch as your first double crochet, and then pull up a loop. Remember, you're just doing another double crochet. You're just doing it kind of in a weird place. So you'll pull up your loop as normal, and then you can see how it's really close. You want to pull a little bit out. This creates the spike, and then finish your double crochet by pulling through 2 and 2, and it creates that spike here in front. And I'll show you again. Between each set you'll always be skipping 1, and because this diagonal stitch covers some of your stitches here, you always want to make sure that you can see the stitch inside, and you know that that one is not you know that that's part of the stitch. So this is the one you want to skip, the next chain, and then you'll be working in this chain. So yarn over and working in this chain, put a double crochet, and then now again you can look to make sure, yes, you worked here, 1 stitch unworked, and now you're in the right one. Yarn over and do 2 more double crochets to complete this set. So now you have your 3 double crochets again. You're ready to do your diagonal spike stitch. So yarn over, go back into the same stitch as your first double crochet, pull up a loop, and you see how it's crushed. You can see better with the second set than you can the first, how it's all crushed and, you know, down like that. Well, that's why you want to pull out, making it flat here, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you can see now the spike. You can see how everything is flat. Again, skip the next stitch, and in the next you start your next set of 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Now you have your 3, yarn over, go back into this beginning this beginning double crochet. Sometimes it's difficult to, there we go. Find the same stitch. Then when you pulled up your loop, you pull it all out until it's flat. Pull through 2, pull through 2. Yarn over, skip the next stitch, and then go into the next. DC in the next 3 stitches. Yarn over, go back into this first double crochet. Pull up, make it even and flat here. Pull through 2, pull through 2. Now, you should have 2 chains left. One is where basically your diagonal stitch should be. It was like that with all of them. The one that you skipped was always the one where your diagonal stitch should have been. But you don't put it in that stitch, you move it over here. But you still leave that chain in between alone. And same thing with this one, you should have a chain that you skip at the end, and then a place to put your last double crochet. Because like I told you before, you always have one double crochet that begins and ends. So skip that one stitch, and in the very last stitch you put a double crochet. Now when you're ready to do the next row, again you'll chain 3, which will count as your double crochet, your first double crochet of the round, and then you can turn. So since this chain 3 counts as the first stitch of the round, this first stitch that you see here belongs to the chain, so you don't work anything in here. You go right into the next stitch, which is the top of the double crochet, and you're going to put a double crochet in the next 3 stitches, just like that. And again, going in through the same stitch of your first double crochet, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull it out to make this all flat. Make sure your stitches aren't crushed up together, and finish your double crochet. Skip 1 stitch, and in the next you start your next set of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now again, yarn over, go into that first stitch and do your spike stitch, and you'll continue that for the whole row. Here I am at the end, the final 3. Yarn over, making my last spike stitch here. Then you'll skip the last double crochet, and in the top of the chain 3 you will put your double crochet that ends this row. And you're working from the chain from behind, so it can be difficult, but make sure you get in the top chain. And there you go. That's how you make the diagonal spike stitch. And you'll continue to do this row 2 over and over and over and over and over again. And if you find that it's starting to tilt one way or the other, like it can do when using the chain here on the side, then what you can do is in the very last stitch, instead of going into the chain, just do your double crochet in the last double crochet. And if you find out that it works better for you by doing that, then go ahead and do that. And then you'll just know at the beginning stitches, you're not going to have a chain at the end. You just go right into the next one. But it's always preferred to skip the last double crochet and do your last double crochet in the chain. So that is it. That is how you do the diagonal spike stitch. And I think with the solid color you can definitely see it going a lot better. In the row, when you go from one row to the next, you can see how one way the spike's going to be facing this way, and then the next one is going to be facing this way. It's going to be kind of in a zigzag pattern. But if you do this in the round, then it'll all be straight. So it's very simple with the 3 double crochets, and then you pull it back and do that one, skip the next stitch, continue on. So it's very easy to do this in the round too, so easy to make a hat or gloves or anything else. And the spikes will all be facing the same direction. So it is completely up to you. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please don't forget to click like, and please don't forget to share this video. It helps me so much. Thanks so much for watching.